Good evening, friends. Good evening, humans. Did you ever as a child have been indulged in pudding eating? Did you ever cry to your mother, "I want a chocolate pudding, I don't like vanilla or strawberry"? Probably most of us who live in kind of Western environment where this was a norm or a tradition to have a pudding as a dessert when nothing else is available. So kind of very cheap way to indulge children for sweets. Yet why so many kids don't like this? Why they are despising this slimy, wiggly thing that you have to put in your mouth, and then you start to recognize what you're eating. Is it a chocolate? Or is it, I don't know, strawberry? They look the same, slimy, wiggly, and if it's too dark or it's kind of shady colors, then you're guessing maybe it should be a mix. So, title for today goes like this. Invasion is like a pudding, isn't it? So, while we're eating this pudding, do we really know what we're eating? Why it always fits so perfectly around every single, edge in the bowl. And sometimes it's very sticky, depending who's making it and with what kind of ingredients. The ingredients of the pudding can be, various. It can be a real strawberry, or it can be just an extract of synthetic strawberry that it just smells nice, taste quite a strawberry taste, yet it contains a lot of other crap. The MSG is the product that it found mostly in these synthetic products, like a pudding. So let's expand this invasion technique of our tastes, bud tastes, smell tastes. By the MSG is a product that it's actually enticing us to be almost like addicted to a certain taste or smell or look. So we have these MSG techniques developed in many industries. Banking, media, like TV, productions, advertisement, legal. MSG product MSG substance is there to make us blindfolded, not to even look what we're eating. And we can be easily persuaded that this is the best thing for us. For example, invasion. Invasion of the Europe is happening for centuries. It was a big one a couple of hundred years ago, lasted for 400 years ago. Nobody talks about it. Why it stopped? What's happened in the meantime? Who stopped it? And with what kind of weapons we fought this invasion of the Ottoman Empire going into the Europe, or going into all this Eastern Europe, Central Europe, and all the way to the Western Europe. This was a plan, yet it failed badly because they've hit the Balkan. The Balkan is the area where Yugoslavia was created in the beginning of 19th century. It was a combination of three countries, or three different, let's say, tribes. Later on, in midst of 1900s, become, after Second World War, a sovereign Yugoslavia that consists of many different, 8 different tribes or states. call them states or nations, but they contrived of different equalities among all these nations. This is how I felt that Yugoslavia was created and existed, because I lived there for almost 20 years, until it has been dissolved by the very dark entity called NATO, called United States Deep State, or CIA, drug dealing cartel. This drug dealing cartel of CIA managed to bring every single, let's say, free thinking leader in this region, including Tito, Marshal Tito. Yet the true history will become very soon available, because many of us are questioning. Many of us know what's happened. Many of us will talk about it fully and openly. Yet, what does it have to do with the pudding of invasion of the present Muslim states? They are pushing their leftovers of synthetic hybrid robots who are just invading Europe. So, invasion can be sought or looked upon as it's a blessing. It can be they want to refresh our gene pool in Europe because we are too pale. We don't look healthy. So they will bring their gene, they will rape all the white women, and they will make some half, colored babies. And if they're girls, they will definitely wrap them in the hijabs, and they will not remove the hijabs until they die. So it doesn't matter what kind of color you are, but you're wearing a hijab if you're female. So this is a religion or tradition that they want to bring into the Europe. And we, as a stupid, absolutely retarded, westernized, lazy Europeans, we do not react. We allow this invasion to continue. And it goes like a pudding in every single pore of our existence, especially in our law, in our legal department, where we, ignoring it, we start bringing that Sharia law is something that has to be allowed in Europe. Not European individual sovereignty law of individual country, but Sharia law, which represents a Muslim religion. Where, in which kind of sovereign view we allowing that a religious law has to overcome the person or people's law in a certain countries. I'm not saying that every law, every country has a perfect law, but it's theirs. Why we have to allow this kind of crappy synthetic pudding to come into and stream in millions all over the borders, through Croatia, through Slovenia, right into the center of the Europe, into France, Germany, Austria, and so on. Austria raised its voice. They don't want many. Poland raised its voice. They don't want any immigrants from the outside. Hungary, Romania, they are really standing up. And they are actually the shield for invasion or against the invasion of these so-called Muslim religious people into the Europe. Bosnia was created from nowhere in the last 100 years by heavy invasion of Albanians and many Muslims from Turkish and the Middle East into the center of the Balkan, which is Bosnia and Herzegovina. Yet this has been hush-hushed under the table because nobody want to talk about what this pudding stinks like. It's not real pudding. It's a very, very synthetic one. It's actually very, very dirty when you consider how these invader forces were slide into our environment and pretend they are now the owners of the land. The Sharia law exists in Bosnia and Herzegovina since 1992. When this war erupted, they just insisted that this is the law of the land. I mean, are you kidding? So no sovereignty was allowed to Serbians, like Orthodox Christians, Croats, and the war was just perpetuated more because suddenly Croats doesn't want to let go of their ownership of the land. They claimed this is now part of the Bosnia. So it's quite a complicated story, yet nobody realized why we allowing this more and more. The war raged in 1990s in Yugoslavia. Now in Ukraine was raging for 3-4 years. In 2007, 8, 9. So now which one is the next one they are attempting to bring in? Now Kosovo was completely taken over by heavy infiltration of invaders from Albania. Now they're claiming this is their land. And it just matter of years that they evacuated, basically forced out every old citizen or person who lived inside the Kosovo region. Many of them ethnic Serbians, many of them Macedonians. Yet they have to be evacuated or fleeing for their life, otherwise they will be just, if they're not consumed, they will be just deleted. So this is one form of the invasion that I was trying to talk, how easy is for us to ignore what's actually happening to us. Another one is invasion of your privacy. You've been actually put in a position that you have to disclose everything and anything these freaks of the law, of the politic, of the authoritarian positions like a police or anybody else from the government side, no matter what. Their rights, so-called rights, they're not really human rights, but these are their legal rights to invade your phones, your communications, your telephones, your computer, your internet access, and so on. And they are especially very keen to invade your finances. So you cannot actually hide any dollars or any rands or kunas outside of their reach. If you do this, you must be a drug dealer. You must be something illegal doer. Okay. So consider this one as another option that has been invaded very, very heavily on a human spirit. Another one of the worst invasion of your physical body. How you have been put yourself so low, going to these freaks of medical profession, doctors, pharmaceuticals, pharmacists, and any kind of so-called well-educated healers who will invade your body with everything and anything, with probing through your buttholes, through your nostrils, through your mouth, through your ears, anywhere they can. I've heard some of the techniques they do. They want to check the prostate of the older man or whatever, the man with a problem, so-called, and they're putting a probing through their penis up into their the I don't know, liquid for the, like, what you're peeing. So, to me, absolutely like ridiculous that we allowing these kind of actions against our body. This is invasion beyond any comprehension. If you allow, they cut you open and they invade your physical skin, go inside your organs, then you're fucked no matter what. And if you allow them to do some implants for you, you're triple fucked, because there's nothing you can do to prevent this down the road. Once when the implant, doesn't matter, pacemakers, different, even the fillings in the teeth, the root canals, and all the other crap. So, invasion 101. Watch what doctors are doing. Watch what medical system is doing to everybody around. I'm talking just visible things. There are many invisible ones that we have been attacked and invaded through media, through telephone towers, through dark grid lines, the grid lines of the planetary grid lines on the land, through microbes, through viruses, through parasites, through energetic parasites. You thought it would be a nice story about the pudding? Absolutely not. This is the most horrified story you can hear. And many people have been just ignoring everything around them. They were pretending they believe in a good health care. They believe in a good management of the government. They will just take enough taxes so they will not kill you instantly, but you will live to the very last second and you will pay for your living. The financial institutions, the secret agencies, CIAs, NSAs, and all the other crapsters of a spying community. We have more people employed in a spying industry than anywhere else. And the rest of the population is employed in a military industry, military industrial complex. And leftovers are for people to get, a decent computer design or decent food, how to grow, healthy food and so on. We absolutely live in invaded world, and one of the worst that nobody talks about. We've been invaded by the alien species from beginning of our time here on the planet. And we've been wiped out, and they try to reprogram us to make us less awakened or more obedient, and they do through the DNA, through all the genetic manipulations, yet we are here. I'm talking about we awakened ones. And we're talking about these invasions. So what you see what Trump is doing, talking about invasion of Muslims into the country, is just the bigger aspect is the invasion of governmental and legal policies and buildings and institutions from these dark entities, alien dark entities. So how to fight them, how to eradicate them. Think about it.